Hello YouTube, hello guys, welcome to another exciting day. Welcome to my channel, welcome to YG Digital World. I am your host Agu Joseph. So guys, on today's tutorial video, I'll be walking you through on how to design this party flyer design in Photoshop, to be precise. Okay, so one of the core of this tutorial has to do with how to create a good custom background that can help to project the message to your target audience. Okay, that is one of our focal points for this tutorial. So the second has to do with how to create contrast within elements, to be precise. And thirdly, we'll be looking at how to create a good design layout that can help to pass the message to our target audience. So if this actually sounds like what you're interested in and you're new to the channel, do well to smash the subscribe button. Do well to smash the subscribe button if you have not done that. And turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I upload new content on my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching, guys. So without further ado, let's dive into the design phase. So come over here and create a new document. And over here, we have the new document panel that comes up. For this design, we'll be making use of the Instagram portrait frame size, which is 1080 by 1350 of pixels. And the resolution for this design will be set on 300. Color mode remains on RGB. The RGB color mode is suitable for mobile devices, smartphones, and any form of electronic documents, to be precise. Okay, so we'll leave this on RGB, and for this we'll give our project a name which is called Friday Bash. That's the theme for the flyer. So you leave other settings the way they are and click on the create button. So over here we have the Canva workspace on which we'll be designing on. So the next thing I'd like to do is to drag in the exercise files for the design. So over here we have the exercise files and the resources we'll be using for this tutorial purpose. Okay, if you need the link to the exercise file, do well to check the video description. The link is in the video description. So also on this video, I'll also be adding the PSD file as a bonus. Okay, for you to see the link to the PSD file, you have to watch this video completely to actually know where I'll be placing the link to the PSD file. So without further ado, let's dive into the design process. Okay, so over here I have an image over here that I'll be using to create the background. Okay, so the background will help portray the message of the event. Okay, so over here I have this. I have to turn off this, select this layer, hit Ctrl T on the keyboard, hold Alt to scale it out like this and adjust its position like this. So after you're done, you can click on the check for that. Okay, I would like to blur out some of the pixels for this image. So I'll apply a Gaussian blur effect to this. Okay, I think this radius is good enough, and I'll click on the OK button for that. So next, I'll be enabling this. Hit Ctrl T and drag and place it around somewhere here like this is okay. Somewhere here like this is okay. Hit the enter. After you're done, add the vector marks to this. Okay, pick your gradient tool or hit G on the keyboard to pick your gradient tool. By pressing G on the keyboard, it will enable you to pick this tool called the gradient tool. So you come over here, make sure this is set on black. Okay, your foreground should be set on black, the background should be on white. So come over here, left click and drag out like this. Okay, you see what happens. That sharp edges has been blurred out. Okay, has been blurred out. So the next thing I would like to do is to actually change the blending mode so that it can fit in to this design perfectly well. I think this is okay. So I would still like to add a Gaussian blur effect to this, and I think a little few. I need this to still be a little bit visible. Okay, I think this radius is good enough like this. So I hit Ctrl J to make a duplicate. Ctrl J enables you to make a duplicate of any layer or any group of layer. So you come over here, hit Ctrl T, right click and flip horizontally, and left click and drag and place it around somewhere here like this. Okay, so after you're done with that, so I'll drag in another image I'll use to create the background. Okay, so I'll be placing in this image over here and scale it out like this. I think this is okay. So I'll check. So after I'm done transforming, I'll come over here to the blending mode and select a blending mode that will help to create a good contrast. Okay, thereby helping me to project the message on the foreground perfectly well. I think, okay, this will work perfectly well like this. So come over here and add another Gaussian blur effect. I need to blur out some of the pixels for this as well. Okay, I think this radius is also good like this. Okay, so after I'm done, I like to select this layer, hold shift, select the this other layer over here, hit Ctrl G. Ctrl G enable you to group your layers together. So I'll call this BG, which stands for the background. So the main essence of me creating my background this way is to create that party flare vibe. Okay, I'm making use of images of light, different light flare to depict like a night scene. Okay, and if you notice, this background is looking a little bit darker. Okay, so the other set of information I'll be putting on the foreground there should be a little bit brighter in nature so that it can be seen perfectly well. Okay, so that is in terms of creating the background. So it is expected of you that if you have a dark background, you shouldn't be using elements on your foreground that are dark. You should use elements that are actually bright to actually make it stand out from the background. Okay, so here I have the model image. So I'll proceed by working on the model image. I always advise that you should right click and convert your image to a smart object. Okay, by doing so, it enables you to maintain good resolution. Whenever you scale it down and scale it up, it won't actually lose its image resolution. Okay, so after you are done converting the image to a smart object, hit Ctrl T, hold Alt, scale it out properly like this. I think this is okay. You can choose to drag the image and place it like this in your design, and if you are good to go, you can still scale it down and place it down like this. I think this is okay like this, and we hit the enter button. So after we are done resizing this, I would like to sharpen the look of this image. So if you look closely, you notice this image is a low res image in terms of quality. Okay, so I would like to sharpen the look of this image. So I'll come to filter and apply the camera raw. So on the camera raw here, I'll enable the before and the after, hit Ctrl plus to zoom in so that you can have a good preview of what I'm actually doing. This is the before and this is the after. So I'll come over here to the basics. That's where I'll be starting on. So on the basic, I'll be working on these sliders. Okay, these regions enable you to add dark shadows. This end enable you to add more highlights to a particular slider. Okay, so the first here we'll have the exposure. So I'll scale this up like this, adding more highlights to the exposure. To be precise, me taking it this way, I'm adding more of shadows to those dark regions. So me taking it this way, I'll be adding contrast. I'll be working on adjusting the contrast rather. Okay, that is in terms of that. For the highlight as well, I would like to boost up the highlight a little bit, make it a little bit more brighter. Okay, so after we are done with that, I would like to come to the shadows as well, make little adjustments to the shadows. Okay, make them pop. Okay, so after you are done with the shadows, you can come over to the white and make adjustments to the white as well. I think this is okay. The black as well, you can make adjustments to the black. The textures, this is my major focus area. So for the texture, I'll be boosting up the texture all the way to around here like this, and the clarity as well have to be boosted up to a good radius. That is in terms of that. For the dazzle, I have to also boost by making the adjustments this way. I think this is looking nice. Okay, so this is the before and this is the after. So I'll scroll down this way and come to details and work on sharpening this. Okay, so I'll take up the sharpen all the way to around here like this is okay, and noise reduction can be reduced to a good radius. Okay, so about, I think this is okay. So I'll leave other settings the way they are, and I'll click on the OK button. Okay, so this is giving you a preview of how this is actually looking like. Okay, so after I'm done with this, I would like to add an adjustment layer called I think which should I use? Okay, the color balance. I want to work on the colors on the skin of the model, so I'll click on these clip marks. Okay, so basically the essence of me using the color balance is to create a good feel from what I have on the background, so that it will harmonize with the skin tone. Okay, so on the mid-tones, to be precise, I'll be working on the CMY keys. Over here we have the CMY keys. Over here we have the RGB colors. So me going this way, I'm adding cyan. Me going this way, I'm adding reds to the mid-tones. Okay, so I will have to boost up this to about something like this is okay. Come to the magenta as well. Add this a little. I think this is okay. Add more yellow. Okay, come to the highlight, select the highlight and work on the highlight. For this as well, take this up like this, adjust this, add more blue to this. Okay, come to the shadows and add more of this reds, more of the greens to this like this, and more of the blues. Okay, so this is without and this is before and after. So after you're done, hold shift, select the other layer, hit Ctrl G to group it. So by grouping your layer, it enables you to make your layer so organized. Okay, so this is for the lady and this is for the background. So after I'm done, I'll add a layer mask to this. Okay, pick my gradient to one more or hit G on the keyboard and come over here and blur out this radius. Okay, make sure when you pick your gradients to your foreground should be set on black. The black enables you to hide what you don't need on a particular design. So I'll come over here, left click and drag on this. Okay, make sure this is selected. Come here, left click and drag like this to apply the gradient effect. Okay, so after you're done with that, you're good to go. And please take note when making use of your gradient, make sure this is set on linear. So that is for that. So after you're done with that, we'll move to the next phase, which has to do with adding of the information to the foreground. So I'll come to view, change the guide and enable a good layout. Okay, so you can also set your guides as follows. Here are the parameters I use in actually setting up my guide. So that is in terms of that. Okay, so after I'm done, I can start placing other design elements such as the information. So I'll scale this down and place this around somewhere like this. That is in terms of that. Okay, so after you're done scaling that, I'll enable this as well. Ctrl T, scale this down like this, take it to somewhere around here like this, and I think we are good to go for this. So I'll adjust the position and I'll start placing other information to the design. So I'll come over here, pick my text tool, left click and paste in the informations I'll be using for the design over here. So over here we have the informations that I'll be using for the design. So I'll start with the theme of the event and paste in the theme of the event over here. I'll be making use of a font called Caroline. K regular is the name of the font. Hit Ctrl T to transform and scale it out. Okay, so I'll come over here on my character panel. In case you don't have your character panel over here, you can enable it from your windows. Okay, so for this, we adjust the leadings like this. That is the space between text on the vertical axis. So after I'm done, I'll place in the theme, the name of the organizers. So I'll left click and paste it. That is in terms of that. So for this, I'll be changing this particular line of text, to be precise, to a font style of, let me see, light italics. I will be making use of poppins for this. While for this, I'll be making use of medium for this particular line of text. So hit Ctrl T, transform, scale it down and place it around somewhere like this. Okay, pick your move tool and make sure it is placed properly. After you're done placing this information here, it is expected of you to place other set of information. So I pick my rectangle tool over here and set my fill color to white, to be precise. Okay, come over here, pick the rectangle and create a rectangle of this size. A rectangle of this size is okay. Take this beneath this layer here called logo. Okay, make sure it is over there. Ctrl T and make sure it overlaps with this. So on the property as well, I'll be setting my curve radius to about 6. Okay. And I'll hold Ctrl, come to where I have this rectangle here. Hold Ctrl. My mouse pointer changes to a hand icon over here. Left click to make a quick selection of the rectangle. Select this layer. Pick your move to align horizontally and vertically to the middle. Ctrl D to deselect. You can then select both layers. Hit Ctrl G to group them and call this sponsor. Okay, that is in terms of that. So I'm trying to organize the layer properly. I can still transform and scale this down like this. Okay, that is in terms of that. You can still choose to create a duplicate of that rectangle. Hold Alt on the keyboard, left click and drag outside the group and take it to somewhere around here like this. Okay, so you can hold Shift to scale it down like this. Okay. So I can still make little adjustments to this by selecting this set of layers. Okay, holding Shift, Ctrl T, scale it out properly. Okay, so that the theme can be visible. The theme of the event should be highly visible and you can place it around somewhere here like this. Okay. So for this rectangle, like to take it down, hit Ctrl T, scale it down a little. We are good to go. Okay, so pick the text tool and place in the venue of the event, where the event will be taking place. Okay, left click and paste in. Okay, that is in terms of that. For this, I'll select this line of text, increase the size. Like this, scale it down. I think it's okay like this. For this Cushiano Hotel text only, I'll highlight the text and I'll change the font family to the style of semi-bold, while this other line of text beneath it, I'll be setting it to the regular. Okay, while for this, I would like to change the color code for the text to, let me see, D92808 is the hex code for the color I'll be using for this. So I'll take it to where I have the rectangle, hold Ctrl, left click and select. You see this happens. Okay, hold Ctrl, left click around here. We have this icon image here and we are good to go. So make sure this text layer is now selected. Come here, pick your move to align horizontally and vertically into that space. Ctrl D to deselect, Ctrl T to transform, hold Alt to scale down through the middle region. Ctrl Enter and we are good to go. Ctrl H to hide the guide. So this is how the project is looking like so far. So I would like to still adjust this like this and we are good. So adjust the position, Ctrl T, increase the size, we are good to go. And as well, I can choose to take this down like this. Okay, let me scale this down a little so that the organizing body text can be still seen visible a little. Okay, so pick the text tool, placing the contact number for table reservations, left click and paste it around here like this. For this, I'll be setting this to regular, while for this, the phone number, to be precise, I'll be setting this to semi-bold and we are good to go. Ctrl T, align it to the guide. So take note that the guide enables you to create a good design structure for your design. Okay, so thereby controlling the eye movements of your target audience. I think this is actually looking good like this. Okay, so after we are done we can choose to proceed by placing other set of information. Turn on your guide by hitting Ctrl H. Okay. The drink responsible text, I'll copy it out as well. Okay, paste it around here like this. Ctrl T, right click and flip. I think, is it clockwise? Yeah, clockwise works perfectly well. Scale down the size, check, come to your character panel and increase your trackings. Okay, that's the space between text on the horizontal axis. Scale it out like this. Okay, so that is in terms of that. Hold Control, left click, select this, pick your move tool and align this like this. Okay, so I'll use my navigation key to adjust its position like this. So Ctrl H. This is how our project has been looking like. Okay, this is okay like this. I can still increase the space between the text. I think this is okay. So after we are done, I would like to place other information as well, such as the date and time. For the date and time, I'll come here and paste in the date and time for this. Okay, for this, I'll be setting this on the regular, while for the 15th, I'll be setting it on bold. That is the style. For this, I'll be setting this on semi-bold, which is 2024, will be set on semi-bold. Okay, I'm trying to create contrast among elements. And likewise, this should be set on bold. That is the time of the event should be set on bold. I think we are good to go. Okay, should be set on bold rather not semi-bold, bold. Okay, so after we are done with that, I would like to create another rectangle. Okay, so I'll select this rectangle, hold Alt, drag it out like this. So I'll still want to make adjustments to this by taking this over here like this. Okay, resize it, hold or Shift to adjust them manually perfectly well the way I want it to be. Okay, that is in terms of that. So after we are done, I would like to reorganize my layers to be precise. So I'll take this over here and take this down here. Okay, so I'll select both layers, holding Shift, group this and call this venue. Okay, this is for the theme. So I'll select these both layers and call them, group them together and call this theme and try to make my layer panel look more organized and neat. Okay, while for this rectangle, I would like to change its fill color for the rectangle to FFFF29 is the actual color. So I would like to also change the blending mode to a blending mode that will work perfectly well. I think this is okay. So I'm trying to create contrast. I can double click on it, the layer style will come up, that is on the rectangle layer. Add the drop down shadow, or you can right click on it, you select layer style from the option. You can set this as follows. I think we are good to go. So I can choose to pick my text tool once more, come over here where I have this text, select this line of text, and I would like to change its color as well to FFFF0A. That is hex code for that. Okay, and we are good to go. So hold Control where I have this rectangle image, left click to make a quick selection. You can see the rectangular, the marquee is selected. Make sure this layer is also selected. Pick your move tool and align horizontally and vertically into the shape. Ctrl D to deselect. So you can select both layers and still group them together and call this date and time. Okay, thereby making your layers neat and properly arranged. Okay, for this as well, I can arrange this like this, select them, group them, and call this IQ, that is the drinking IQ. I think we are good to go. Control H to hide. Okay, for the date and time, I can still choose to increase the size so that it can be visible and place it around here. Okay, so the next thing I would like to do is to duplicate the rectangle, hold Alt and drag it outside the group. I think we are good. Control T, take it over here like this, scale it down. I think this is okay like this. Okay, so the next thing I would like to do is to start working on my text. So I'll come here, placing my text. Okay, for this particular line of text, I'll be making use of the regular. So I'll hold Control on the keyboard, move my mouse pointer to where I have this on my layer panel. Okay, left click to make a quick selection of the rectangle. Make sure the music policy text is selected. Pick your move to align horizontally and vertically to the middle. Control D to deselect. Control T to transform. Hold Alt and scale down. Okay, I think this is okay like this. Pick your text tool on your tool panel here and select this line of text. So for this, I'll paste it in here, and I would like to make use of the style of semi-bold will work perfectly well for this. So scale this down and place it around the middle region like this. So I can still choose to take both layers to around here like this, select this and group them together. Okay, call this music policy. Control T and scale this down. Okay, pick the move tool, hold Shift and Alt to be precise, and we are good. Okay, so after we are done, hit Control J to make a duplicate of the group and take it to somewhere around here like this. Okay, pick the text to change this to hype policy. I think this is okay for that. For this, I'll change this to the name of the MCs. Okay. I think this is okay as well like this. So make a quick selection of this, pick this and align it horizontally, Control D, and we are good to go. Okay. Why am I feeling like why am I having the feeling that these texts are of different sizes? This of 5.02, this is same as 5.02. Okay, I think we are good to go, and I can choose to delete this. Control H to hide the guides. I can still choose to select both layers and make this actually visible. Okay, so if you can see over here, I was able to actualize a good background that can help the information on the foreground. Okay, so earlier I made emphasis of the background has a dark feel, so thereby what you should have on the foreground should be a little bit brighter than the background. Okay, so if you can look closely here, you can see that we have this set of information on a bright backgrounds, to be precise. Okay, so I think with that we are good to go. I would like to make little adjustments to this as well. For this line of text, I would like to pick a shade of yellow, yellow to be precise, a lighter value. I think this value is okay. Copy the hex code. Here's the hex code for this. Okay, for this as well, I would like to apply same hex code to this, and we are good to go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this is how the project is looking like at the end of the design phase. So for this, I would like to change the group name to hype policy. Okay, that is in terms of that. Now you can see our layers are well organized and the design layout is well structured. Here we have the theme of the event. We also created what we call proximity, placing information that has relationships side by side, okay, such as the date and time are placed together because they have a close relationship. The policies are placed side by side. The theme of the event and the name of the organizing body were placed side by side. What else again? The date, the venue, and the address were also placed side by side, thereby creating proximity among elements. Okay, the design structure was also good enough as well. The colors, the layout, okay, is also good. Okay, so when looking at this is actually okay. So I can choose to take this design so I can also choose to take the design a step further by selecting the layer at the top here, the topmost layer here, come to the adjustment and apply the color lookups. So you can play around the color lookups and see the one that work perfectly well for you, and you can choose to actually use it for your project. Okay, so this is without the color lookup and this with the color lookup. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's tutorial video. If you find this tutorial helpful, do well to give it a like. Do well to smash the like button right now. If you have any question, any comments, you can leave your questions and comments in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're yet to subscribe, what are you waiting for? Do well to smash the subscribe button. Smash the subscribe button right now and turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I upload new content on my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for watching. Please do watch through the video. I'll be attaching the link to the PSD file for this tutorial. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.